Wednesday, 11 a.m. Questions, coaching, gyms, fitness. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. In last week's episode, you kind of drew like that picture of how many people train where they do like a ton of warm up, then some assistance work, some strength work, and then maybe some mobility in there as well. And they only have like a really short period of time left to actually do some work. And we got a message on Instagram from someone who said, like, okay, cool, but what can I change in order to get out of that hamster wheel?
Mhm.
What is your idea? What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, let's make it practical. So my biggest goal for you guys out there is I'm I want to be very careful and very I want to take care of your precious time. So that means whenever I can give you better results in less time, I will do it. So the goal is not to add stuff on top of your sessions. No, it's to reduce stuff to get more progress. So how does a typical session for us, whether that's my training or the gym, look like? It's super simple. So at first we need to practice the skill of position and tension. Practically speaking, let's take upper body day, for example. We're going to start a warm up, which is not just for getting the blood flowing, which is obviously necessary and important, but we want to target already where the blood flow is going towards the big muscles that we're going to use for the session. So in terms of like the upper body day, this is going to be primarily the lateral obliques is what we're looking for. So our warm up looks like um, jumping, twisting pull ups, going into twisting push ups. Let's go into the details. We'll do 30 seconds of twisting pull ups, jumping. So, what does that mean? You start on rings like this, and you just obviously with your feet on the ground or on the bench, you're just going to start and pull for 30 seconds straight. Trust me, this is going to get your heart rate up. This is going to get the blood flowing. And more importantly, this is going to teach you positions of the shoulder, like the movement of the shoulder blades, plus directing blood flow into the big muscle that we're looking for, which is obviously the lats here, right? So it's a Swiss Army knife. It serves all purposes in one exercise. Then we're going to go pretty much straight into twisting push-ups. Let's say 8 to 12 twisting push-ups on the ground, neutral grip, going to start like this and push up. Obviously, there's regression variations, whether that's you doing the same movement on the bench or you starting supinated on the barbell, leaning onto it. So there's ways how we can obviously train our normal people if they're not ready for doing the full movements. So
And
that's a
sorry,
tip.
just
Yeah.
a question. What would you tell someone who now is like, okay, I feel like the push-ups immediately from the get-go is too much, or is on the other hand like wondering, isn't that too much weight to begin with as an warm-up?
What do you mean weight? That's your body weight. Like you're moving your body in time and
Yeah, but
space, but
still, but maybe that's someone who believes that
Mhm.
a warm-up should be more like, I don't know, like some bands or something like that, where it's like a minimal amount of
Progress.
resistance.
Exactly. Minimal amount of progress. Um, no, this is not making fun of bands. I just think there's better ways how to use that time, that
Mhm.
whatever, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes you're using for the pulling on bands. There's a better use of time. I'm not saying it's not partially working. It is, but it's not the best bang for my buck. So that's
Mhm.
why I'm not doing it. I want to train the position of the shoulder blade, plus the engagement of the lat dorsi, plus get the blood flowing. Plus, it's actually fun to do this. You're out of breath. It's fun to do this in a group. So I have everything covered in one piece. If and on a more serious note, and so if you have a problem doing normal push-ups, normal twisting push-ups, because whatever, you just started training, or maybe you're a little overweight, like that's totally fine. We can adjust. And again, you can place a barbell in a rack, grip supinated, and do like the push-up motion, obviously in incline position, for your 8 to 10 reps. Or you can do the twisting stuff raised on a bench. So you have the twisting motion covered. So there's always a way to do the stuff that we're doing, but regressing is not about learning less. It's adjusting to your current skill level or your fitness level, however you want to call it. It's not about making it easier for you. It's not. We still have to practice the same thing with the shoulder blades and the lats like everybody else in the class is doing.
Mhm. Okay, and when and how would you then proceed with the session?
Okay, so that's basically like what's that? 5 to 10 minutes. But
Mhm.
then we usually go into strength-based stuff. So whether that's whatever dumbbell rows or Chinese rows or whatever that is. So how are we gonna go into this? Um, Usually we do like 1 or 2 sets of still practicing the twisting motions. Practical example, chest supported dumbbell rows, right? So your chest, you're inclined, and chest lays on the bench, arms are like this. You're gonna start, where are my hands? Where are my hands? You're gonna start like this at the bottom, and then you're gonna pull up, pull the shoulder blades together, obviously keeping the shoulder blades down and twisting all the way in. There's like 1 or 2 sets, like it's fairly lightweight, but still challenging for like whatever, 6 to 10 reps, right? 1 set, if you're super new, maybe like 2 sets. All right, cool. Then we're going to move into, okay, same exercise, but no more twisting movement because that's not the best way to move as much weight as possible, but it's the best way to teach your shoulder both full range of motion and the full range of tension, which is actually what we're looking for, the holy grail. Okay, then we're going to go same exercise, just start, where are my hands? Here, neutral, pull up, shoulder blades together, all the way down, right? Super simple. The neutral grip is your strongest grip, so that's what we're going to do for like 2 or 3 more sets to go for max weight while obeying the shoulder rules, which is when you're pulling, your elbows start in, move to the outside. When you start pulling, your shoulder blades move to the inside, stay down, and finish touching each other. Retraction of the shoulder blades,
And
right?
just
So
to make it even more precise, if you could share the numbers of kind of like which weights would you go for with the twisting motion, and then in comparison, which weight would you choose for the just for the neutral chest supported rows?
I can tell you my weights because I know them
Mhm.
by heart. So I'll start like 1 set with 25s for 6 to 8 reps, which is pretty heavy, but I'm decently strong. So I'll do 1 set to get like bridge the gap from the body weight twisting stuff, from the jumping pull-ups and the push-ups,
Mhm.
going to my strength training to cover this. First set 25, then I'll do 1 set, 6 to 8 reps, about 30 kilos. And then I'll have my, I call the threshold set, which is I don't have a set amount of reps that I do. I exclusively base it on, okay, now I'm going to use 35 kilos on each side, and I'm going to see how much reps I can do while
Mhm.
maintaining and obeying the shoulder rules, which are elbows from the inside to the outside while the shoulder blades are moving in and staying down,
And
right?
how many reps is that for a usual training session for you?
Yeah,
Are we then?
I never go under 3 because
Mhm.
that doesn't make any sense for me. I never go under 3 and I never go over like 8 or 10 reps.
Okay.
That's an important point because I got some feedback on the stuff I put out, which sounds like I only do stuff for 3 to 5 reps,
Mhm.
which I get because I talk about it on most exercises, but I'll do a lot of reps on row pulls. I'll do a lot of reps on Semper carries, like steps. I'll do a lot of pulls, right? So a
Could you
row
give us
pull,
some could you give us some numbers? Like what do you consider like a lot of rope pulls? Because um yeah.
yeah. So if you do a row pull for 20 meters, this is roughly about 40 pulls, depends on how far you reach out, whatever. So that's 40 pulling reps. That's a lot, right? So I usually talk about like the 3 to 8 rep range, which I do most of my strength exercises with.
Mhm.
But the other stuff that I'm doing as well, which is mostly for combining the big muscles with each other, is a lot of reps.
Mhm.
40 pull-ups, 40 pulls on the row pull. If you do for example, 20 meter or 40 meter, Semper carry, 40 meter semper carry is roughly 80 steps. So technically it's 40 reps for each side. So that's a lot. Same goes for whatever, reverse sled drag, harness, bear crawl. You do a lot of reps, and that's why you feel that blood flow going and the pumping in the big muscles. So that's the other side of what I'm maybe not talking about enough.
I've never thought of doing rope pulls or anything to kind of like break it down like that. I always just think in like meters wise or like how many
Yeah.
sets you want to do, but never like to break it really down what that actually means.
Yeah, I've tried this once because I'm a nerd and I tried to replicate. So I did a 20-meter rope pull and then immediately hopped on the horizontal lat pull. And I tried to replicate that pump feeling. And it took me like 50, 60 reps to actually get to that same blood flow in the lats. So that kind of correlates good,
Why is that?
perfectly with each other
Why is that?
because I need 40 pulls on the rope pull for 20 meters and I need 40, 50. So it's the same thing, basically.
No, no, but why
Uh,
does it take longer to get that same thing with the horizontal lat machine?
okay. First of all, there's a couple of factors. First of all, it's the rope pull is a unilateral exercise, right? Because you grip right side pull in, left side pull in. So technically it's unilateral. Nobody sees it like this, right? You could totally do this on the lat pull machine, absolutely. But the thing is with the rope is the twisting part because you're going to start gripping like this. Obviously, where's my hand? Here's my hand. All right. So you reach out, you grip like this. And then you pull in and you always do that motion all the time. So this is actually how it clicked for me about the twisting motions because the rope pull, I have yet to see a single person where the rope pull did not make the shoulder less painful or going faster to pull-ups. And I was like, why is that happening? And you are actually doing, without explaining, you're actually doing twisted pulls. So that's why it's working so well. And now we're just trying to replicate it with every single exercise, but that's what's naturally happening when you're gripping a rope, pulling it in, the shoulder does a twisting motion. That's why it's working so well.
Okay. Okay. But back now to, okay, so because I got you off track, so you
That's fine.
do the strength part and
Yes,
what's
and then
next?
usually we go into because the shoulder roadmap we start with unloaded movements, body weight movements, twisting push-ups, twisting pull-ups. Then we go into loading the shoulder statically. So that means we're going to go either into a carry, like a front drag carry, so more of isometric holds for the lats for the shoulder. Then we're going to go into the strength training, which was the chest supported dumbbell rows or Chinese rows or whatever it is, and then at the end, we usually go for whether that's more high skill exercises like, I don't know, like Swiss bar bench pressing, floor presses, whatever the purpose of that day is. So we always stick to that shoulder roadmap, unloaded movements first, then we're going to load the shoulder, and then we're going to move the loaded shoulder somewhere, which is the most complex stuff for the shoulder. Um, Obviously there's nuances to it, so training doesn't get too boring for our normal people in the gym, but that's
Kind of
the
like the
main road.
blueprint. Okay.
Yes, that's the main roadmap and blueprint we're using.
Okay.